In the desolate border town of San Alvaro, where the dusty roads thirsted for rain and the wind carried whispers of betrayal, Dr. Liana Perez arrived under the guise of humanitarian support. She wore practical field clothing, her medical bag a constant presence at her side, but beyond the calm professionalism in her eyes lay a woman haunted by ghosts. Her mission: to lead a mobile medical unit across a volatile demilitarized zone and provide care to anyone, soldiers, rebels, civilians, who dared to cross the line. But San Alvaro was already ablaze with tension between two warring factions, the centralized government forces led by General Vasquez, and a fierce insurgent group calling themselves the Phoenix Front. From her first night in the town's makeshift clinic, Liana sensed that danger coursed beneath the surface. Patients arrived with gunshot wounds and unexplained injuries, others carried cryptic messages in trembling whispers. One night, a soldier staggered in, bleeding and delirious, uttering only fragments, "You don't know who I am, they're coming." Before she could steady him, masked men burst through the clinic door, demanding he be handed over. Liana refused. Under cover of darkness, she escorted him through a back exit. In the chase that followed, he fell, and Liana caught a glimpse of a tattoo on his shoulder, an emblem she recognized from her past, one she had tried so hard to forget. That soldier, it turned out, was Major Rafael Rafe Moreno, a former operative from her old life, one she thought she had left behind. Years ago, Liana had walked away from covert operations and clandestine warfare, choosing medicine as her path to redemption. Rafe had once been her partner on dangerous missions, and those shared memories now stirred in her heart like embers. He was badly wounded, missing memory fragments, too weak to speak coherently. She brought him into the clinic's inner ward, quietly instructing her staff to protect him and uphold strict secrecy. Word spread fast. The Phoenix Front suspected a mole in their midst, the government forces believed a high-value operative was hiding, and both sides closed in. General Vasquez sent encrypted orders to retrieve Rafe alive. His intelligence was vital, or so he claimed. Meanwhile, the Phoenix Front's commander, a fierce woman called Marisol Vega, demanded Liana hand him over, insisting he carried evidence implicating the government in war crimes. Liana stood in the crossfire, refusing both sides. Her moral compass would not permit her to deliver a man to a certain death. Days passed in tense standoff. Rafe's memories returned in jagged flashes, images of betrayal, of hidden documents, of a mission gone wrong. He whispered of a file-coded Project Dawnfire, containing proof that both the government and the front had been infiltrated by a third party manipulating conflict for profit. Rafe had discovered this double false flag operation, and that was why he had been marked.
One night, weapon fire erupted around the clinic. Armed operatives from both factions stormed the perimeter. Liana organized her staff to shield patients while she slipped Rafe through a back tunnel she had discovered in the compound's foundation. As they escaped into the desert night, she realized she was not only fighting for his life but for the truth. They trekked across rocky ground, eluding drones and patrols, making their way to an old safe house Liana once used years ago. At the safe house, Rafe accessed hidden caches, flash drives, encrypted memory cards, all pointing to Project Dawnfire. But when they tried to unlock them, they discovered one card was corrupted, the other held a direct address to General Vasquez's private server. The data revealed evidence that the war was being orchestrated not by local factions alone, but by a powerful global syndicate profiting from arms deals. Phoenix Front and the government were both pawns. The real puppet masters pulled the strings. Just as Liana and Rafe planned to upload the data to independent media outlets, a betrayal struck. One of Liana's trusted nurses, Rosa, was revealed to be a mole working for the Phoenix Front. She had planted surveillance devices in the safe house, and in the moments of betrayal, the front's forces closed in. Marisol Vega appeared in the doorway, gun leveled. Liana froze, heart pounding. Rafe stepped in front of her. Marisol accused them of colluding with the government. Liana, voice steady, demanded to know what the front had done to the people, bombed villages, starving children, hijacked aid convoys. Marisol hissed that they were freedom fighters. Liana countered that war cannot be freedom if the innocent bleed. In the standoff, Rafe revealed a twist. he was never fully loyal to either side. He had been working for an internal oversight council within the government, an independent oversight board, but when he uncovered Project Dawnfire's deeper tentacles, even his own superiors turned against him. Marisol hesitated. She had been manipulated too. Realizing that her own leadership had been undermined by the syndicate, she lowered her weapon. Rosa's betrayal became moot, and Liana convinced Marisol to join forces, just for now, to take down the greater enemy. The three fled into the rugged hills to rendezvous with investigative journalists brought in clandestinely by Rafe. Along the journey, Liana and Marisol developed a wary but powerful alliance, with tempers flaring over past atrocities, but with common conviction to expose the truth. In secret caves carved into the mountainside, the group prepared the data for upload, shielding themselves from drone scans and surveillance. Before dawn, General Vasquez's strike team arrived via helicopter, targeting the cave. Bullets raked the rock walls. Liana organized medical triage while Rafe and Marisol's fighters held the line. Explosions echoed, dust filled the tunnels, panic threatened to break morale. In a daring move, Liana carried a wounded child to safety while Rafe planted explosives to collapse a side passage, forcing enemy troops into a bottleneck. Only she and Marisol emerged into the open, sprinting toward the extraction point where journalists waited. As helicopters circled overhead, Liana gave the go signal. The journalists received the full evidence files, went live globally, and exposed the syndicate's manipulation of the war, implicating prominent international arms dealers, corrupt government insiders, and extremist funding networks. In that moment, both the government forces and the Phoenix Front were forced to pause hostilities. The world watched, public outcry surged, and diplomatic pressure forced both sides to order ceasefires pending investigation. But the battle was not over. As Liana and Rafe walked through the ruins of San Alvaro, knowing they had won a moral victory, a shadowed figure emerged, a syndicate agent they thought dead, long presumed destroyed, raising a gun. Rafe lunged, and in the struggle, the agent was revealed. It was Rosa, the nurse. She had faked betrayal, allowing her to stay close and strike at the final moment. In the scuffle, Rosa's weapon discharged, the bullet ripped through Rafe's side. He fell against Liana, blood staining his uniform. Liana screamed, cradling him, tears mixing with the dusty wind. Rosa fled into the night, vanishing into the shadows. Marisol and the journalists arrived. Marisol held Rosa's discarded surveillance keycard, realizing too late how deep the betrayal ran. Liana knelt, placing pressure on Rafe's wound using her medical skills. The helicopter above hovered, evacuation or hospital. Rafe, weak, whispered to Liana that he never stopped loving.